Need to be watching people. You need to read body language. You need to keep your eyes on guards. You need to always watch yourself and watch your back, okay? Because there are people in there that are never getting out. And people that have nothing to lose are very, very scary, okay? When they don't have anything to lose. Good morning, my lovelies, my beauties, my friends. My name is Christina and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you will subscribe, stick around, take a chance on hearing some things that I have to say. And if you are a returning subscriber, y'all already know, y'all are my babies. So first of all, good morning. How are you guys doing? It is a brand new week and it's going to be a good one for me and for you. I wanted to start off this video by just telling you guys thank you. I know I uploaded an extra little video last week. It was all up in my mommy feels and my emotional feels and my woman feels, like reading you guys' comments and just like literally overwhelmed with gratitude. And like I said, I appreciate and love every single one of you guys. So thank you for that. So today I wanted to kind of mix it up a little bit. I have some questions from you guys that I was asked, and I just wanted to go over those real quick with you. Do not be afraid to ask me anything you want to ask me. I will try to accumulate questions and then film Q&As, because I know like there's probably things that you're thinking and you're wondering, and you can ask me anything and I will answer it for you guys. Also, good news, my grandmother is going to be filming with me this week and it will be out later on this week. I'm going over there Tuesday of this week. I'm super excited. I literally have been sending her screenshots of y'all's comments saying, we want grandma, and she's so flattered. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be awesome. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already subscribed so we can do that. So, alrighty, I'm going to just pop up here on the screen some of the questions that I've got so you guys can read along with me while I answer. What are the do's and don'ts of a first timer, like the unspoken rules that only inmates could know? When you're a first timer to prison and you're first starting, you first get there and stuff, like you don't know what to do, okay? You don't know when to go to chow or when to go to canteen or whatever. The crazy thing is like when you first get to prison and you get to that facility called Lowell, they have you in these like intake dorms, right? And then only certain times of the week are you allowed to get canteen. So those certain times of the week, everybody's like standing at the door. So you've got like 30 women or 50 women even standing at the door, pushing along each other, just waiting to hear that buzz click. So the door opens and then everybody from all the different dorms runs to the canteen. And then you stand in that line for hours in the hot sun. No trees. There's no trees there in the hot sun. I mean, people are getting sunburned and everything just trying to get to canteen to get things that the prison doesn't give you, like maybe a decent toothpaste or a decent, deodorant or a decent toothbrush, and so you just don't know what to do. You're asking questions, so yeah, it's really crazy and scary the first time you go. And like I've said in my very first video, the guards don't make it any easier. When they're getting you through intake, they are really rough on you. They're in your face, they're yelling. I mean, you got to think about it. Like when you think about being in there, if somebody mistreats you or if they're rude to you or whatever, girl, you are in prison. What are you going to do about it? Somebody let me know down below. What you going to do? You going to complain? You going to write a letter or a grievance and say, I was mistreated in here? It don't matter. You are in prison. And it's so crazy because it's like in your mind, you're like, there is nothing I can do to get out. There's nothing I can say, nothing I can do, nothing I can beg, no matter how many tears I cry. I am in here and I cannot get out. So, some of the do's and don'ts. Okay. The do's when you first get there, which I'm praying to God that nobody watching this is on their way to prison, okay? None of these videos are meant to be like how to go to prison and survive. These are meant to be like, please don't go. Please don't go. Please. It's the worst. It's the worst, okay? The do's is pay attention to your surroundings at all the time. Make sure your situational awareness is up. You need to be watching people. You need to read body language. You need to keep your eyes on guards. You need to always watch yourself and watch your back, okay? Because there are people in there that are never getting out. And people that have nothing to lose are very, very scary, okay? When they don't have anything to lose, they can do anything, because what are you going to do to them? They're never getting out, okay? So the main thing is to pay attention to your surroundings. Be careful who you trust. I would say definitely stay to yourself or find a little group of friends that you can stick with. Definitely don't go in there thinking that you are all hard. I don't care what you've done on the streets. There is somebody bigger and badder than you in there. And even if you feel like you're the biggest and baddest person that's ever walked the earth, you have guards that are over you, okay? You have a warden that is over you. Like you have, especially in like the big prison in Lowell, there are people walking around with guns. There's people standing in those towers with guns circling it at all times. And if a riot breaks out or something like that, like you are at the mercy of if they feel like pulling that trigger or not. So do not go in there thinking that you're big and bad and you're all that and you're a super gangster. Just go in and do your time, okay? Another do is take advantage of everything that you can take up in there. Any kind of programs that they offer, any kind, even if you're not a drug addict, like take a class, take classes, while I was in there, I got all kind of stuff. Like when I first went to the county jail and I was spent the first 6 months in there, I had dropped out of high school first semester of 9th grade. Okay, I didn't make it very far. I was 21 years old in the county jail and I took my GED without even studying and I passed it, which was amazing. So then therefore, when I got out of county jail and they transferred me to prison, I could take like trade classes. I took a lot of computer classes, PowerPoint, Excel, all that stuff, and I got all my certificates. This is what I feel like. If you're going to be in there spending your time, take advantage of everything that you can do. Don't just sit in there every day and play basketball or work out. Like, educate yourself. Make your time of some sort of value, okay? Find something that you can do while you're in there. Another don't is do not voluntarily snitch on anybody. Don't do it. If you see two girls in the shower, mind your business, okay? If you see somebody passing something to a guard or what, mind your business, okay? Like, you don't see nothing, you don't do nothing. Like, it is not, if you see somebody get, and this is even touchy too, I say if you see somebody get, or your friend really get beat, like there's maybe silver linings to certain things that maybe you need to speak up, or if you see somebody get the 4-letter R word, you know what I mean? But other than that, mind your business, girlfriend or boyfriend or whoever this is watching this. Don't even do that, okay? Don't volunteer no extra information. Mind your business. Next question. Have you made any mistakes because you didn't know how things were supposed to be done or dealt with it between the inmates? Let me think. Between the inmates. I don't really think so that I can think of. I was very street smart when I went in because I lived most of my life, my teenage life, like in the streets, running around with a street crowd and a rough crowd. So I don't really think so. I think but if you don't have any street smarts and you go into prison, I feel for you, you will probably be eaten alive. And there's a lot of people, like you imagine going into prison and you imagine it being a bunch of thugs or gangbangers or like hardcore criminals and killers and all that. And although there are all those type of people in there, there's a lot of normal, everyday people that made a mistake, right? People that, and I'm not excusing DUIs by any means because like it is awful. It is absolutely awful. But, I told you that story in my first video of that woman that was a nurse and, a mother and had her home and her teenage son, and she was on vacation, okay? She's on vacation with her teenage son. Her and her son go out to dinner. She has a few glasses of wine. She leaves there. She gets into an accident, and the man that she hit was already an elderly man. He could have been on his last leg anyways. Who really knows? It could have been, he could have honestly had a heart attack right before that in the car and already died, and nobody would have even known. But because she had that alcohol in her system, she got 15 years in prison. She lost her home. She didn't get to see her son graduate. All those years, she lost her kid. Like, she lost her license, her career. She's now a convicted felon. All of that because she made a decision, and in a split second, your life can change. And that is something that I learned really big in prison, is that you can make one decision, one, and boom, your whole entire life is changed. Okay, so people like that don't have any street smarts, it's really rough on them. You have like a lot of like, I noticed that like when I was in there, and this was years and years and years ago. I mean, I got out 11 years ago now. So I was in there, 11 plus years ago. Like women that are nurses that were writing prescriptions for themselves that boom, went to prison, living a normal life with their family, taking pills, writing these prescriptions for themselves, and boom, they're in there. Probably been raised by a good home. There's another girl who I was very, very close with in there who got caught up with a guy, right? She was with this guy. He was really big into, I'm trying to stay monetized here, guys. They're like, literally, they demonetized my video of my emotional video, the one that says I'm a 34-year-old crybaby. Like, why demonetize that? Like, I didn't say anything wrong, but they're so touchy. Anyway, so she was with this guy. She met him. She was young. I want to say she was like 18 years old. And he was into, and she had a car. And him and his friends, like most young teenage dudes that are into that type of lifestyle, don't have cars. And they asked her to drive them somewhere to go and pick up some. And because she was in love with this guy and she was so infatuated with him, and when you're 18 and you got you a bad boy and you think it's all that, she did. And they drove out to these orange groves. They picked up the guy and that they were going to get the stuff from, and then they drove him out to the orange grove. So there's 3 guys in the car and her, and she's driving. They pulled him out of the car and they were going to rob him, and he was saying that he didn't have it, and the guy took out a to try to make the guy give him the stuff, and he was like, I don't have it, and jumped in the car, and she didn't know what to do. She was like, oh my gosh, like she literally thought she was just driving, which she was already in the wrong. She shouldn't have even been involved in that. But you're 18, and I'm not making any excuses, but I'm laying down exactly what happened. You're 18 years old. You're like, okay, I'm going to take my guy. We're going to go get the stuff. We're going to probably party. I really like him. He's so cute. He's like, whatever. And the guys, they're like, oh my gosh. So they tell her, drive. So she drives and she leaves. Well, she ended up getting accessory to the fact and got, 10 years for that. And, just her mom was very Christian. She was raised in a Christian faith-based home. Like, she didn't have any street smart. She was from and so people that go in there, I really feel for them because they get put into a world that, and that's another point that I've told you guys a million times. You're only as good as the company you keep. Like, and if you're a mom and you have kids, do not be worried about being in their business. Get all up in their business, okay? They don't need that type of privacy. They don't need, for you not to know where they're at. My oldest son is 18 years old, and he still tells us everywhere he goes, where he's at. If he leaves the house to go down to the art gallery downtown, I want you to text me when you get there so I know where you're at. But I also explain it to him. I don't say like, I need to know everything you're at. I'm like, baby, like if something was to happen to you and you go missing, I need to be able to tell the police like exactly the last time I talked to you, where you're at. It's not that I don't trust you. It's because I want to protect you, and he understands. And so like what I'm saying is like, especially if you have teenagers, if you have smaller kids, all up in their business. They don't have no privacy, like that kind of privacy, okay? Because you need to protect them. Okay, moving on. What about trigger or keywords, gestures, and stuff that may set off a fight or get you in trouble? Okay, this is something that I can really tell you. Inmates will try you in there. They're going to see who they can get over on. And the biggest thing that is the most irritating thing is they'll bump into you, right? They'll walk by you, they'll bump into you. If you're standing in line for something, they'll come get in front of you in line. And you really have to pick and choose your battles, man. Because some of those girls, they don't care. They'll bust you in the head with a lock, okay? This is something that really happens, soap bars and socks tied at the end, swinging it. A lot of violence happens in the middle of the night because people are off their guard. Combination locks in socks. Imagine a hard combination. Have you ever taken a combination lock and threw it on the ground and tried to bust it? They don't bust, boo-boo, okay? They are very strong and durable. put it in the end of like, put 2 long socks so it's really, really thick, and put it in the end of it and tie the end of it and swing that and hit somebody with it, you're busting heads, okay? So the shank thing isn't really a thing, but the combination locks and stuff is, and the jumping, they will jump you. So I would say really learning how to pick and choose your battles. Keywords, something that people get really offended about is like the studs. Remember I was telling you guys about that in the first video. I'm going to go ahead and link down below my first, second, and third videos. So if you haven't watched those, you can go get caught up. But the studs, which are the guys, which are the females that carry themselves as men in prison. And we're not just saying like we're playing men. Like these women look like men. A lot of them have actual beards and mustaches, mouthful of golds, 6-packs. They wrap their chest up, and I'm not even, these women look good. They look like good looking men, okay? They don't just look like, you know, they look really good, okay? So they look like you would see like a model or something as a man, but they are actually, you know, women by their genitals. They get really offended if you call them a girl. Like people call them Mr. or call them him and stuff like that. So my main thing as far as like worrying about keywords and stuff like that is just watch what you say to people. Like I said again, the biggest thing is to be observant. Going in, you need to read people, okay? You need to be able to adapt in there. Don't come in there trying to be Susie Q from the street, from your hometown and whatever. Like, you have to learn to adapt and deal with people on their level, because it's not like when you're at home and you don't like somebody and you can just leave, right? You can just, you know what, this person gets on my nerves, I don't like that. You can't, there's nowhere you can go. So you have to adapt a certain amount. So I wouldn't say necessarily keywords other than those types of things. Of course, if you're around, you know, guards, you never want to say the word escape or bomb or anything like that. Not even joking, because they will lock the whole facility down, lock you down. And not only will you get in trouble, but everybody on campus is going to be mad at you because you just ruined their day because you said some stupid word trying to make a joke. Don't even do it, okay? How does peer pressure work in the females population? Is it as wild as in the males as far as gang grooming? I mean, is there a way to stay independent or not involved? Ooh, this is a good question. Okay, so there's not really a lot of in the female prison like there is in the male prison, okay? You got to think there's a lot of emotions, okay? Women, we're very emotional. A lot of us are nurturing and loving. And of course you have that percentage that is, you know what I mean? Like that other lady that I showed y'all in my last video that is just like, how does your brain function like that? But for the most part, a lot of, you know, so there's not a lot of that going on. There are cliques though, okay? And most of like the very, very strong cliques are the women that have been in there 20 years and they've been there, the ones that have seniority. As far as peer pressure goes, absolutely there is a need for people to fit in. You'll see women that have really never done anything wrong in their life that just made that one decision I was telling you about, trying to fit in and trying to just completely changing themselves because they're lonely, or maybe they were so codependent on their family, their husband and their kids, that they're in there. And like you have a lot of women who like take on a mother role, and they like, it's so bizarre because they like play house. Like you'll have a lady that like people actually call mommy, and they go up and these are like 35-year-old grown women like with pigtails in their hair, like eating their candy and calling the other one mom, and the other one's brushing their hair. And there's just a lot of bizarre stuff that goes on in there. Like I get it, I mean I do and I don't. Also, like I've said before, there's a lot of like gay for the stay. There's a lot of women that come into prison and they just get into relationships because they need something. They need to feel something. They need to fill that void. And some of them get out and do continue on those relationships, and some of them don't. Another question that I got was if I had any gay or lesbian experiences while I was in prison. And the answer to that is no, I did not. I did have a lot of girls that I was very, 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 very close with and very much friends with, and that I loved dearly. I also had a lot of girls, and I don't want to say like a lot of girls, I had a few girls that had big crushes on me. And the crazy thing about it is women can be a lot more aggressive than men can. I could tell you guys some stories that's not even prison related. Even just now, like Walmart, like sometimes, like, I want to say probably about a month ago, I went into Walmart and two of the workers came up to me, two female workers, and were just like, you are, golly, you are so beautiful. You are so hot. I mean, they were saying a lot more curse words with it and stuff too. And I'm like, thank you. And then it's like, they kept going on and on and on and following me to the register, and they were employees. And I'm like, at this point, I'm getting a little bit uncomfortable. I mean, I'm 34 years old. I'm not like they were probably in their younger 20s, and I appreciate the compliments, but at some point, like, women can be aggressive, and it's the same way in prison as well. Actually, one of the girls that was in there, when she got out, she got my name, Christina, tattooed on her arm and was sending me pictures and all that, and I never had that kind of relationship with her. So no, I did not, but the opportunities were definitely there. Let's just say that. Okay, so we are already getting into 20 minutes of a long video. And like I said, I don't want to make hour-long videos, even though some of you guys said that you want to see hour-long videos. Later on this week, I'm going to have my grandma on here, and I'm going to be doing some more videos. I'm also on my channel, as I've said before, I'm going to mix it up with stuff. I am going to continue to do reviews because, hey, if I buy something and I can help you guys out, I really actually do love sharing those things with you. I'm going to continue to do vlogs and recipes and all that stuff because my channel is a whole entire lifestyle channel. And yeah, so I hope you guys watch the videos that you enjoy. And if there are videos that you're not interested into, I hope that you stay. But other than that, I love you guys so, so, so much. Please don't forget to like this video. It is a free way that you can help me out. And until the next time, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.